good morning, everybody. Guess who's back?
Howdy. Wait, it's the dynamic duo.
What are we doing? It's awesome.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's like the guys in the Batcave. We are not saying Batman, but
I love Batman.
Yeah, but you're Superman.
But I love Superman better. Actually, do I have my... No, I don't have my Superman.
No, not
See, I got my shirt on today. I don't know if everybody can read this.
I will put you in the trunk and help people look for you.
Yes, I gave a speech. I talked today. It was my morning to talk. I wore that, and people were like, oh, my God, that is the best shirt ever. They're like, where'd you get that? I said, I can make them for you.
There you have it.
Welcome to Tech Shamans, everybody. Let's go to the dual screen there, Cage Boy.
Boom, Tech Shamans.
So we have... Oh, yes. And we've been gone for a while. Oh, that's not the right one. Number 5. There we go.
Yeah, John is actually controlling.
I don't know what happens
behind the scenes.
Yeah, no, I'm not. So he'll have to fix that.
Yeah, okay. Well, John is controlling it from in front of the scenes, which is even more talented when you think about it. However, let us begin.
So why don't you do me a favor? Do a rundown real quick of the show, and then Cage, go to his shot, and I'm going to come back there and help you real quick.
Tell you what, we have got a lot of phenomenal stuff today. Today, we're going to talk about software engineers, and they are in a panic about AI. And, of course, if you watched my last episode that I was on the 17th, you will see why. People are able to do 50 hours worth of work in 4 or 5 hours of programming. Then beyond that, Siri and why it's lagging, how it's lagging, and will it ever actually catch up with the other AI-driven things like Alexa. Reddit is back to trying chat rooms again, but they put a really different twist on it, and it's a really neat twist. You want to hear about that.
So why, that's such a weird, I know, I'm interrupting you. I do that all the time. But that is such a weird thing. It failed on them once.
Oh yeah, but what they've changed it dramatically.
Right.
Okay, first of all, it failed on them twice.
Oh, that's right.
That's
they did.
Right.
Oh yeah, this is the third time around.
This is the third time. Yeah, third time's a charm. But if you don't mind, we'll just jump into that.
Let's
just go. The first time they put it out, it was done in a way that put everything on everybody all the time.
Oh, God.
And that was too much for the system. The system could not handle it.
I think it's too much for our system.
It's too much for our system right now. But that's basically what happened.
Right.
And so these are visual explanations for you.
Yes.
But so that one failed. Then the second time they had a major faux pas because when they put it up, I mean, they had to take it down within 24 hours. They just completely, like every single conversation on Reddit had turn this into a chat button. And there are some conversations that are, 25 years old and somebody's just on there to look for how to change, their plumbing, and so that just ended.
Right.
So they pulled that one down in 24 hours. But the main problem they were having was if they made anything available to all users, then the issue was it was no longer relevant to the topic under which it was being headed.
Right.
So the first one was just general. It was just weird.
Yeah.
Everybody was on there just complaining about crap. It just became a social media free-for-all.
Right.
The second time, they tried to put it in just under topics, but it ended up going under every topic. And so it was just overwhelming at that point, and they couldn't do that either. This time, what they've done is they flipped it so that it's no longer going to be technology-based. It's going to be moderator-based. So moderators of large, popular conversations, not real large, like less than 100,000 followers.
Right.
Okay, because they got to make it manageable. But moderators of these things are going to go, okay, I want to turn on the chat in my Reddit now. And so they will be able to turn it on because they are there, they want it, they're going to moderate it. They are going to be responsible for it, and that way it's going to stay on topic.
So I thought before, even back in the day, before you could open up a chat, you had to always have a moderator. Always. There always had to be someone there.
Had to be there.
Right.
Okay, so the chat would have a moderator assigned to it. That doesn't mean they weren't in Acapulco on the beach.
True.
At that moment.
Right.
So the whole thing just became a free.
See, that's that's one of the big reasons that none, when we were Veeam and when we were Bayou and and now that we're Area 52, because everybody's like, well, you don't have a Reddit. Yeah, because I don't have someone to moderate that thing all day.
Exactly.
All day long.
And it has to be there. And so this way, the moderator can turn it on. when they're there and turn it off when they're not. And so they can and keep it on focus and go, no, we're not here to listen to your ad for Bitcoin. Okay, that's not what we're here
Or where to buy
for.
a good used car.
Yeah.
I did see that a lot.
Oh my God. Or here, let me talk to you about your car's extended warranty. They got me with a damn letter in the mail
Did they really?
Saturday. I was so
actually, that's funny.
I'm like, oh, so I got this letter. Wow, this looks really official. I should open it. I open it up. I'm like, oh, you sons of... I got rickrolled. It was like getting rickrolled. You know, I couldn't believe it. So that's the Reddit thing, and that does sound pretty interesting,
right?
To see how that works out.
Well, I mean, so that's, now that I know that, I think it's time to start a Reddit.
It could be
for Area 52.
Yeah,
because a lot of people keep telling me
the Reddit chat.
Yes.
Okay, having the Reddit out there is one thing. Having the Reddit chat is something else entirely.
Right.
And that's what makes it really lively and dynamic. And everybody's getting into this now because they're seeing this explosion of live streaming content. God, if we'd only gotten ahead of the curve on that.
I know, right?
But having the conversation underneath it all the time.
Yeah.
Which, of course, we have up on our monitors, our laptops, whatever we're using. Okay, because everything streams through our website. So, yay!
I don't know. Can we... See, I've shied away from Reddit from the get-go.
Yeah.
Because I just heard it's so much work.
Yeah.
That it's just not something I wanted to add to our wheelhouse. But if we can we line stream to Reddit?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you can do that. I'll have to check what's going on with the chats.
Right.
Okay, but see where that plays in.
Okay.
So that's what's going on with Reddit.
So here's something funny, real quick. The other day, I had someone that watches the show, and he, I know, right?
The funny part. Okay.
Yeah, no. And they're asking me, they're like, dude, how are you going wireless with those SM7Bs? I'm like, well, you get a module and it can go. And they're like, well, no, they're phantom power. You can't do that. It's like, no, they're not phantom power.
No, they're not.
They're condenser mics.
Right.
But I mean, now, if we run cables, we run a cloud lifter, which gives you big audio, but we don't need that because we have a good control in the back. Right. And they're like, they're just blown away that we can do that, especially because we have the other version of the smaller versions, right?
Right.
And those have the plugs on the back, and people see the modules and go, "There's no cables." I was like, "I know.
There's no cables.
There's no cables."
Yeah, those are basically like your basic. What the hell's the name I got from the mic that goes on my camera? I can't remember.
Rode?
Asden.
Oh, the Asden.
Yeah. They look like an Asden, but really it's a two-part. You've got a tiny mic up front, and then you got the peg on the back.
Right.
And so you end up with a wireless mic.
Yeah. So I just want to say,
honestly, we could actually put a handle on that, and we could use that as a roving reporter mic.
We could. Absolutely.
That would be really
absolutely.
Cool.
We could do that. And the good thing is
how we solve
and
problems,
all this stuff you can find on our if you go to area52tv.com and go to the bottom and go to our Amazon finds.
Yes.
Every piece of gear that we've used and we've physically touched is on there. So, but anyway.
Yeah, so those are actual products, that we get.
Real deal stuff, yeah.
Not something that it's like, oh, hey, we can make a good commission on this one.
So do you want to do the deep fake thing first? Because I don't want to run out of time because I think it's cool.
Okay. There has obviously been a lot of stuff going on about deep fakes.
Right.
And everybody's worried about what it's going to do, what it's going to be. And until you see something that you know really well, and then you know it's really, really wrong.
Yeah.
That's when you go, hang on a minute. Now this is a fun use of deep fake.
Right.
Okay. But you can imagine there's two parts to this. Okay.
Right.
The first one is let's go ahead and put up the Arnold video.
Go ahead and play that bad
go
boy.
Ahead and
we
play
can
it.
talk over it.
Yeah. We're going to have the audio with it. But it is absolutely fantastic. To see Arnold Schwarzenegger, a very young Arnold Schwarzenegger, in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And all of it is, this is seamless stuff. This guy here who's doing this is, what's his name?
Brian
Monarch.
Yeah, Brent, yeah.
Brian specializes in this, and I looked at several of his videos. This one here really takes the cake. He's got several with Arnold because he's trained the AI to know almost everything about Arnold and to put it in. Now, what's interesting is the voice on this is not deepfake.
No.
No, this is actually an impersonator, a guy named Joe Godet. And Joe does such an amazing Arnold. He's got a video where, like, they're doing a podcast like this, and he gets on the phone with a local restaurant, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to make a reservation for tonight." And I'm sorry, we're booked. Well, I'm bringing in kind of a VIP. Why not let you talk to him? And he puts the guy on the phone. In an instant, she's like, "Oh my God, of course we can find room for you." His Arnold is so, because it's not over the top Arnold.
Right.
I mean, I could do an over the top Arnold.
Yep.
Okay, but this guy is so spot on. He completely snowballed it. Like, got reservations, got it put underneath another name so that people would know it was him.
Right.
And my son and daughter are coming, or my son and his girlfriend. So they'll be there, and I'll be with them. Okay, we'll get that done for you right away. And then of course he doesn't show up, and they have to eat alone because he got called away. But they got the reservation.
They got the reservation.
Boom, done. Okay, those are some of the kind of unscrupulous uses of AI, and they can get a lot worse with the deep fakes. What on the flip side, this kind of AI technology is being used to create other things. And this one here, of course, we're going to talk over because it has no real narration.
No.
But let's go ahead to the car video, because this one absolutely blew me away, because I'm watching it and it's showing collisions at different speeds. And there's your 20 mile per hour collision, and that's pretty ugly, because you even watch the radiator blow out, okay? Now you got a 40 mile per hour, and I'm watching this poor, I mean, how many of these Ford Escorts did they have? Okay, that all looked, it's actually not a Ford Escort. I don't know, it might be a Subaru, okay?
Right.
I don't know what it actually is. But it needs to keep going. This is just the intro.
I don't know why it stopped.
Yeah, because what happens is this then goes along. Here's 60 miles an hour. And I'm like, ouch, that's pretty nasty. Okay, then we go to 80. And I'm like, okay, they got a lot of these cars. But, having been in traffic stops, having seen things happen, this is crazy. I'm like, wait a minute. This car doesn't go 150 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Nor does it go 200 miles an hour. Something ain't right here. I'm like, they aren't running out of cars, because these aren't actually
Look at that.
Real
Holy
cars.
shnikes.
This one is what you call a projectile. Watch. Look at that. Not only the car is completely disintegrated, but that strikes with the force of a missile.
Wow.
Okay. Now here's the thing.
Come back.
This is a video that is a simulation.
Right.
These are being used more and more now.
Right.
For companies that don't want to, that can't afford to and don't need to spend the money on doing actual product builds to test. I know one company, they have done, they will recreate their product down, and then they will track the outcome of certain events with that product in such precision that they have it programmed actually down to the molecular level. Whoa. And because they want to watch the explosions of what happens. So they have to do everything programmed down to that level. And so what they're doing is they don't just go, okay, that worked, let's go. No. They're now coupling that with machine learning. And so what's happening is the machine is then going in using those simulations and reproducing them 5,000 times, 10,000 times, each one slightly different. Yeah. And adjusting to get the absolute optimum outcome from the design of the product for what they're going for. And so, I mean, just from a safety consideration standpoint, being able to take that simulation and then add machine learning to it, say, okay, how do we design this car? Right. So that it does these things. And that's what they're doing. They don't have to keep building cars and destroying them. Because these simulations are so big. And the artificial intelligence just jumping in and being able to say, okay, let me handle all these variables. Right. Okay, and even a few more you didn't think about because you forgot wind speed. You know, just stupid stuff that you're like, well, isn't that a constant? No, it's not a constant. You're right. And so all those things get built in. Right. And that's where you're seeing the companies are doing this and able to launch out of like pre-beta. This stuff has never existed in the real world. And then they build their first model of it and compare it to what it's supposed to be.
Right.
And that tells you if you missed any variables. Now, I have watched them actually have to go back because when they built it, they got something out of the result that did not get predicted. And they realized it's because they were using equations that were the norm for the industry, but they weren't the right equations.
Right.
So when they actually did it, they got this very surprise reaction. They had to go back in and redo everything, and it took them weeks of work to rewrite the algorithms so that it would then account for these equations, which were never part of it. It's like because they pushed things to new limits.
Yeah.
The old equations, it's like Newton works until you get close to the speed of light. Then it just
yeah, right.
Okay, it just completely falls apart. Newtonian physics doesn't work. You have to use Einsteinian physics.
Yep.
When you get up to those levels. And they moved up just metaphorically into those levels. And suddenly nothing was right.
Right.
So they had to go back and the thing is, they're getting called on their results because they're like, oh, these don't match. This can't be happening. It's like, that's because you're not using the right equations.
Right.
And these scientists and physicists, one of the issues they're running into is so many of these companies, investment companies, and the big companies, your big aerospace companies and so on, they are hiring these physicists and chemists and all these things and using them as gatekeepers instead of saying, oh, wow, so we can add on to that with our knowledge. Let's go ahead and do this. They're in there to prove it's wrong so they don't make a mistake in buying it. And so they're going, you're using the wrong equations for this. It doesn't matter. And
right.
Like, no. Look at our simulations. Look at what we've done. Here's the equations now. Once they could get the equations right in the simulations, it was weird. It's like all the pushback melted. Because they're like, here's what we predicted. Here's what we got. Oh, okay. Now it works. But if you're like, here's what we predicted. Here's what we got, and it's 20 times better. They're like, oh, that's because you're broken.
Huh.
It's like you're believing the simulation over the reality.
Right.
And that's what they're going to do. They're going to do that because I can back up these.
Well, hasn't NASA been kind of doing this for a while?
Yeah, and a lot of this is space-based technology.
Right.
But getting into this stuff, and even NASA still has gatekeepers.
Right.
Okay, that are doing exactly that. They're saying, oh, this can't be real. And they're holding back actual science because they don't want to waste money. Okay.
Well, the waste of money would be to doing the real thing and it not work out right, but using the doing the AI side of it.
Yeah, doing the AI side of it, but you got to have the equations to put in. And they were using the wrong equations. And getting a bunch of PhD physicists to go, you're right, we were doing it wrong.
Right. No, they're not going to say that.
No, because it's like, oh, yeah, and by the way, continue to keep me hired for the next job?
Right.
No, that ain't going to happen. And so, so that was that's the nature of where this technology can be taken.
Yeah.
And of course, because we're us, we get Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Being Ferris Bueller. I thought that's freaking awesome.
That was amazing.
Now, see, I've seen other deep fake. We've seen them with Tom Cruise. We've seen them with a couple others like that.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it, for about 2 years now.
Yeah.
That it would then when it really got good.
Yes. And I think one of the best examples of that is about to come out in theaters. They're deep faking Harrison Ford.
Oh, really?
There's
Superman, which was a horrible one.
What is it? Like I don't know how many minutes. Okay, like 23 minutes of Harrison Ford in his 40s.
Oh,
filmed
wow.
When he's 80. Okay, and they've retro-aged him. And that's actually Harrison Ford, but they've de-aged him for this entire series. And I have seen like clips of that.
Yeah.
And it is breathtaking.
Have you seen, now you know what movie they kind of started us all off with, right?
Gladiator.
Fast and the Furious.
Oh.
When Paul died.
Before that was Gladiator.
Oh, was it really?
Yes. That's because
what part of Gladiator?
What's his name? Reed.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Halfway through the movie, he died. Now he only had a couple small parts left. So they went back. They pulled old Oliver Reed. And
Oliver
they pulled
Reed, yeah.
old film of him and everything, and they like superimposed it as best they could.
Yeah.
Okay, over him. That was the first Hollywood deep fake that we really had, that we know of. I mean, who knows? They could have been doing it since the 80s. They just didn't tell us, you know. And that was a movie called Looker.
Yeah.
With Susan Day as the model and the guy who played Scrooge in the musical, Albert Finney. Okay, that's a movie in which models have been replaced.
Yeah.
With AI, so they don't have to pay out the $1 million
Well,
contract.
they did a movie that way.
It's called Looker.
That's what it is,
the
where
movie,
she was the actress
Exactly,
and
yeah.
everybody didn't know she was not real.
Right.
Oh,
And
my God, that's actually a very good
well,
movie.
If there's a newer one, yes. But this was supposed to be like a scary thriller because they were killing the actors.
No, there was an actual movie.
Yeah.
And it was an actress.
Yes.
But she never went out. They called her reclusive.
Right.
And then, but she was on screen as the real thing, and it was AI.
Yeah. No, this was a movie made back in the early '80s.
Oh, okay.
Called Looker, in which they were actually killing the models, and so that they could save money on the royalties. And what we find now is there are plenty of brands out there that their models don't exist. The genes they're showing you in the ad aren't real.
Right.
It's all digital simulation
Well,
to give you an idea
so
of what
that's
it should
funny
look
you
like.
say that, because in this industry, they've been doing that with vehicles forever.
Yes.
Those are not real.
No.
Those are all
going through the mountain scenes and all that stuff.
That's
3D
all
animation.
3D
For at least 10
animation,
years
and
now.
you wouldn't know.
You didn't know.
No.
That's the point. Just like this car here that we just watched.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sitting there watching a Subaru Ford Escort hybrid, whatever, it's like the two of them put together.
Yeah, it was a weird car.
Know? Yeah.
Almost like a Peugeot.
It was like, okay, this is some European car. And look, it's got kilometers.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's probably a European
Yep.
thing. You know? And so I just wrote it off as being some kind of Italian car or something. But then when they hit 150 miles an hour, I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
Stop, no.
So, see, I thought that was being done on a pull track.
Even at a pull track, okay, you might be able to get $150. But you ain't getting
400,
400 miles
400
an hour.
miles an hour.
That's impossible.
Yeah, I
okay.
think,
I mean, you have to launch it out of a cannon, at which point the back of the car would not look like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
I mean, the frame itself would not handle that speed.
Mythbusters tried to do some of that high speed impact stuff like that, and I think the best they could do is like 200 something miles an hour. But that was propelled and pulled.
Yeah, and for this thing, I mean, I'm sorry, the frame could not handle that rate of speed being pulled. The car itself would shake apart on the road.
Yeah.
Okay, that was not going to happen. It had to be a simulation. And, I mean, it does kind of get the point across. So, kids, don't go 460 miles an hour.
There you go.
Okay.
It's not good for you.
That's the big lesson.
And, speaking of AI, right? Yeah. So, software engineers right now, right? Man, they're panicking.
Yes.
Because they're all thinking, we're going to be replaced by AI.
About 37% of them do. Actually, the question was asked of 12,000 certified software workers.
Right.
Okay. What do you think of the young generation coming in? Do you think they're losing opportunity, it's going to stay the same?
Right.
Or are they going to gain opportunity? And this 27.3% of really stupid people said, there's going to be more jobs. No, there aren't. Do
that again. That was awesome.
That was like halfway between like Yoda and I don't know what else.
Yeah, but it was cool.
But no, that was no. You have to watch it on repeat. But wait till we're done. Then go back and play it again.
Yes.
We need the hits. Yeah, and by the way, hit the like button. We really appreciate that. But in this case, what we have is the group, and then there were like 30% in the middle. 41% said yes. It's going to decrease the jobs.
Right.
And it doesn't take a rocket scientist. I mean, they're doing it now. One guy is doing the work of 10.
Yes.
Okay. There isn't going to be 10 times as much work because they can do it. And that's just today. Okay. Because now, since he did that, ChatGPT is now getting better at writing its own prompts. So he'll be able to do the work of 20. 37% thought it would be unchanged. That's some serious wishful thinking, okay? And then 21.7% are like completely lost.
Right.
They think they're going to be able to stay ahead of this stuff, and they do not understand that the curve on this thing makes Moore's law, doubling every 18 months. This thing is doubling every like 18 days.
Yeah,
It's
it started off as smart as a fifth grader, which is always scary.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
And
are
now
you
it's
smarter than
announcing
fifth
its
grade?
plans for global domination.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. It's you know, it's like, oh, by the way, this is how I would.
Well, I mean,
take over the
Elon
world.
Musk came out against it.
Of course he did.
He's
he
like-
started OpenAI. That was his baby.
Right.
And he couldn't assign the time to it that he knew it deserved. He put it out there as a cautionary movement against all the others.
Right.
And then somebody else took it over because he couldn't, and they turned it into for-profit and made the most advanced, potentially evil AI out there.
So, you know, I guess it comes, you know, so you watch all these movies, right, where all this happens. It takes over the world. There's got to be a point where, and I agree with Elon Musk. I like Elon. Sometimes he's off the rails, but I still love him. I think he's a good guy. We have got to put controls into this that AI cannot overwrite. Like I know you go back to the whole.
Got to go back to
iRobot.
What is it? Analog is the only way you can do that.
Right.
In fact, if you watch the last episode of Picard.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's exactly what they had to do. They had to basically go back to an analog ship in order to beat the Borg AI that had taken over the entire Starfleet.
Yeah.
And so you've got to go analog. And honestly, there is an analog solution, and it's not that hard to implement.
Micro EMP.
No, easier than that, boss. Couple rednecks with a couple AR-15s and
we're
the
good.
power converter that's out there.
You'd be amazed.
Pumping the juice in. Okay, now, is it going to set up defenses? Potentially. All you got to do is find a way to cut the power.
Right.
Okay, if you can get to a switch and you can kill it, and you can lob grenades at the power plant. There's all kinds of ways you can do
Right.
this, but you got to go analog, and you got to go analog against something that is able to. I know of technology that without radar, without any kind of anything, completely passive detection of any object moving in, okay, that's basically bigger than a car. So it can track this stuff in a passive environment. That is insane. So the AI is going to have this capability. So you can't even drive up in your 57 Chevy and hope to do something because it will detect it coming.
Right.
Even if it can't control it. And then it can turn, the T-1000 on it.
T-1000, baby.
And so it's going to be tough.
I mean, as long as we can put in the safety measures, I mean, come on, it's for those people who can't afford, a programmer or a team, AI is really going to help people out.
Yeah, but what it's doing is it's putting all those people out of work.
I know.
So now nobody can afford a programmer.
Well, that's just like us.
AI is going to have to do all the
every
work.
time I turn around, I watched an AI software the other day that literally did a 30-minute video in 4.5 minutes.
Exactly. And
it came up with its own footage.
Yep, its own footage, its own script.
Yep.
I mean, all of it. And this used to take a team. You used to have to pay them $20,000 a month with all the different jobs and everything to do this kind of work. And now it's out there. And
Right.
I mean, there was an article on NPR, outlining this stuff where a guy deepfaked himself.
Did you see that they deepfaked? They did an AI thing of Joe Rogan's podcast.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
Holy cow!
Yeah, I think we did that 2 weeks ago as part of the show, and it was incredible. That was just the audio, okay, and you finally realize when you listen to it, just like this guy on NPR did. Okay, he's a professor.
Yep.
Who said, go ahead and write a script as if you were, and then gave his name. Yes. And it went ahead and went out, found his style, found it, and wrote his article. And he had the same observation that I did when I watched the Joe Rogan thing. He's like, yeah, these are all the right words, but there's no depth. Right. There's no complexity of understanding. Right. And I'm like, wow, does that fit in with TikTok?
We use AI now.
No depth, no complexity.
I love TikTok.
Okay, it's all very shallow, pump it out, and there it is.
See, it depends on what you watch.
Well,
see, there's the problem. So I had And I know Jennifer Parker's like putting her AI art. I know. But the problem with AI art, and I think we've talked about this before, you don't own copyright on that.
Nobody does. And somebody should.
Well,
because
AI
they're
does.
Here's the thing.
If you use OpenAI, or I think there's a software that I love some of those images. I can't ever get it look that good. But I read in their terms of services by using their stuff.
Yeah, they actually own the art.
Even with your image in it, they own copyright.
But here's the problem. They have used copyrighted material
to get to that.
To create that.
Right.
And they aren't paying the original artist. They aren't crediting them. Whenever you see an AI image that looks like it has an artist signature, that's because that was stolen from an artist and the AI blotted it out but didn't do a great job at it.
Right.
Okay, that is a serious problem. Because they're literally stealing it and going, now it's mine, I own it, and so I'm going to copyright it.
I use AI for the fact that it's easier for me to go in there and it helps me write a synopsis.
Yes.
Because I just don't have time to be that creative. Right. I know that's a cop-out, but it's the truth. I mean, what shows we do in here and we keep going, it's kind of needed.
I've got software that'll take this whole program, turn it and read the script, okay, and then you can feed the script into AI, tell it to give you the synopsis, tell it to turn it into a newsletter, a blog article, whatever it is you want it to do. A lot of people are actually using AI for their emails.
Right.
And that is a really big thing right now in email campaigns. They are doing a lot of work on, because you can take a sales email. It's like, hey, I want to sell this product, but I want you to write me an email selling it in the voice of Tony Robbins.
Yeah. Right.
That's incredible. And so you end up with this email that's absolutely kick-ass.
Right.
And then they go out and they use that, and you can feed in samples, and it will give you back, your product in that voice, which is a proven successful email. And that's what you get. It is just amazing what we're able to do, but it's homogenizing everything.
Yes, it is.
And so therefore, but it's homogenizing it without any depth, which is kind of what homogenizing does.
Yep.
It takes out the germs, but you don't get the rich flavor at the same time. And so there are going to be real ups and downs on this thing.
Yeah.
I know, we just touched on TikTok there and what's going on with that. And
so let's talk about TikTok.
I want to go there.
So right now, the Biden administration is trying to outline efforts to address the national security concerns. Right. And now, see what they've done now is they've come off of naming TikTok, but now it's outer country concerns of tech data and company. It's really after it. So I've said this from day one. TikTok is not stealing your crap. Nobody gives a crap what you're eating for breakfast on TikTok.
Well, that's you, okay? But the problem is many people with security clearances or who work here.
Well, they shouldn't be on TikTok in the first place.
TikTok on their phone.
Well, they shouldn't have.
Watching it.
Well,
or their kids are watching it.
Right.
And it's coming through their account and it's going to their phone and they are data mining them. And the CCP is very good at blackmailing.
Oh, they
people.
are.
Okay. So it's about controlling who. Now, as always, if there's a problem, government will come up with laws, regulations, agencies, and commissions to solve that problem and make it 50 times worse.
Because, so here's the thing. If the government doesn't want their employees on, TikTok, so the government phones, whether it be as far as the White House down to Polk County water guy, give them a phone that literally makes phone calls, emails, and can take a picture because that's it.
Right.
But that may be a PDF reader.
Right.
That is it. What they do on their personal phones, first of all, they shouldn't be breaking their personal phone, right?
Yeah.
It's nobody's business but the own person. But here's the thing. If you've got a cell phone, I got news for you. If you've got a laptop, I got even bigger news for you. If you've got a pad,
if you have an
China's
iMac,
already got your.
Check out how often your green light is on.
Yeah.
And
China's already got your shit.
Why am I recording? What the hell is that? Why is my camera on? Okay, you'll see it.
The little orange dot up there means your audio is on.
Oh, you have Zoom open, so therefore it's on. Well, I didn't ask for Zoom to stay open. I closed out of that meeting. Why is the camera still on?
Yep.
So, these things are out there. The issue I have is, yes, TikTok's a problem. I think your solution is great. Okay. Of course, Hillary proved that, even at the highest levels, they will subvert it.
Right.
Okay. And put a server in their own house.
Exactly.
Confidential.
So that don't mean crap.
And you've got, vice presidents illegally taking documents, and leaving them in their garage or in an office in Chinatown. We won't even talk about that. But Chinatown, it's in the name, okay?
It's in the name.
But if you're going to do that, that's great. But when you make it illegal to go after these things, the way the new Restrict Act is
Dude, that is going to kill everybody.
Oh, we're already at a place where the average American commits 3 felonies a day.
A day.
Okay? When you
don't even know you're doing it.
Mail 16 years later for the previous resident,
right.
And it's clearly junk mail, okay? And you throw it away, you just committed a felony.
Yep.
Okay? That's a problem. This, though, makes all of these felonies trackable.
Yep.
Because if you use a VPN to go around any ban at all,
you just broke the law.
It's supposed to be, companies are supposed to be the ones targeted, but the words are written so vaguely that they can target individuals. They're saying, oh, well, screw you. I'm just going to use a VPN and use TikTok anyway because I've got 90,000 fans,
right.
And this is how I make my money.
Yep. Right. See, so I was having a conversation this morning after I spoke with a potential client actually, and he's like, "Dude, I don't have a TikTok. I don't want anybody. I don't want the government. I don't want China to get my stuff." I said, first of all, the day you turn that phone on, the Chinese have your information. He goes, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, where do you think all the guts are made in your phone?"
And they have actually found in the phones, little bits of chips in the cameras and other things. These like super micro chips implanted onto the motherboards and stuff that are actually speaking straight to the Chinese Communist Party.
So I sat there, I said, look, right now, because of the way the algorithms run on the social media platforms, you have Facebook is so expensive now to advertise on Facebook is crazy. And that's Instagram as well because they own both, right? You can go buy Google ads and all that kind of stuff.
There are ways to advertise there.
I'm not saying there's not.
It's got to be done right.
But with TikTok, as of right now, the algorithm literally works for you.
Yeah.
So I'm telling people, I said, and they're like, well, I just don't watch stupid stuff. I said, there's more than just stupid stuff on there, right? And they're like, huh?
Especially if you live in China.
Right. Well, actually, in China, there's no stupid stuff.
They have a whole
They block that crap.
Exactly. The only thing that's on there is like how to be proud of the Chinese Communist Party and how to be a great student.
Right.
And that's pretty much all you get.
So if you go into that TikTok world, you tell TikTok what you want to see.
Yes.
And then, like with me, I scrub through and go, oh yeah, I'm getting told you got talking to your mic was when you turn your head. I go in there and go, oh, I don't want to see that. It's not relevant to me. Right. I don't want to. And then it starts taking them away, right? Yep. Then they'll sneak an ad in or here or two, and then I'll just go, nope, not interested. But I look at it. I look at video producers.
Yep.
And then here's my weirdness. I like cooking. I'm a big food guy.
Yes.
I love woodworking and metal art. That kind of stuff. So that's kind of what inundates.
I noticed. Camping,
RV world, anything like that. That's the world that I live in.
Oddly enough, sometimes you have done that in the in some of our Facebook accounts.
Yes.
You've been logged in as the channel.
Oh.
And so oh my God, you cannot imagine. I'm like, what the hell is all this? This is so far outside my normal. And I realized I was logged in as the Facebook page that you have accidentally used. And I'm seeing your content.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, wow, what a different experience.
Yeah. I don't go looking for stupid crap. I don't watch these dancing people and blah, blah, blah.
But it was just like crazy different from what I normally see. And until you're on somebody else's account, you don't realize how different it is. But what you're saying is because TikTok is so finely tuned.
Yes, man, they know
you. If there are people out there who are interested in your subject matter, it's going to find them.
Yep.
Which is what I like about, instead of TikTok, I like Rumble. because
roll your mic over just a little bit.
what?
There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Which is like Rumble, for example. One of the things that I really love about that is, like on Facebook, you have to hit a special button to have this happen. But on Rumble, anybody you're following, Rumble will email your followers that you have a new video put up.
Really?
Yes.
See, okay, so we have a Rumble account, but
Yes.
I wanted to be able to live stream to it.
Right.
But I'm not paying
And-
$25 a month to live stream.
No, and I get that.
That's just
but
ridiculous.
it is a groovy place because anytime you put up a video, it becomes email marketing.
So we need to start putting up our individual shows on Rumble
Yes,
again.
at least start
okay.
with one program and let's go strong. Okay?
Tech Shamans,
I have
Nerd
it.
Quest,
Yep. And so we'll go with that.
and Open for Business, I think.
Yep. So we've got that stuff. So that's my take on TikTok is it's a problem, but the cure that's being presented is 100 times worse.
The cure is literally 1984.
Yeah, it's turning everybody into criminals.
Yep.
Okay. And
Yep.
so all we have to do is decide we're going to pay attention to you, and we'll have a whole list of charges
Right.
already prefabricated.
And it'll
for
be
us.
like, hey, you said this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm
Not
like,
even that. It's like, oh, look at
No.
this. You went outside. You subverted the system in order to look at this. We got you here on
Right.
37 dates. You did this. You're done. I mean, at that point, it's one step off, and slippery slopes have been proving so right lately. Okay, we're one step off from, oh, you use a VPN. You're a terrorist.
You're a terrorist. Right. That's exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
So let's jump over real quick. So I love my Apple. I love my iPhone. I love my iPad. The only problem is Siri is as dumb as a post.
And Siri has gotten dumber in the last
Now
4
you
months.
can add AI now to Siri.
Okay.
It is a possibility, but before this all happened, all the Apple engineers, they're jumping over to
They
Google.
lost their 3 top engineers
Right.
to Google. They were actually recruited by Google's CEO.
Doesn't Apple know going, hey, you know what? Maybe we need to.
Apple is doing something different. Are you ready for this?
Oh boy.
No, I like what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
They're actually reviewing all of the content before releasing it.
Well, dang.
Eyeballs.
You mean they're
on
actually
it.
going to make sure it's right, it looks good, it sounds
Exactly.
right, and it works?
Exactly.
And, well, okay.
That's why they're moving more slowly. It's easy to run out there and put something out there.
Yeah, Microsoft.
Okay. I mean, since 1995.
Right.
It's easy to put it out there and have it be broken. Okay. That's in Microsoft X. Wasn't that the one? The operating system they did?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, it was X.
X, yeah.
That was like, and it never happened.
Yep. And it probably was a good thing.
But yeah. So what we ended up with is these guys like, we're not going fast enough. We're not going fast. So we're leaving. We're going to go over there where they're going faster. And Apple's like, hang on, Hoss.
Yeah, slow down.
Let's
slow your roll.
Let's walk down.
Slow
and
your
screw 'em
roll,
all.
right.
Okay, that's a great old joke. I love that one. Two bulls on the hill, old bull and a young bull. But the point behind this is, yeah, they are behind, and yeah, it's kind of intentional because they're almost like in Elon's camp to a certain extent.
Right.
Saying we're not really excited with where this is going, and when will it turn off?
Right.
And will it decide that it's never going to turn off and it's just going to listen to you?
Right.
Because it has determined that is the most advantageous way to run.
Right.
Apple likes to have control over their products, and they take their clients' privacy very seriously.
They do, and I do, and that's why I love my Apples.
Yeah.
I use PCs in the studio because PCs are the only thing that kind of really does what we do.
Yeah.
That, switching the whole 9 yards. But if Apple would allow multiple video sources to come in and be switched like we do on the, I'd be all Apple.
Yeah.
The whole time because it's just better. But they
I
don't.
use Final Cut Pro. I mean, that's what I use for editing. I love it.
Right.
Okay.
I used to love it. I don't like 10. When 10 came out, they lost me. Because I'm an actually certified Apple instructor, a Final Cut instructor. So I can teach. I was teaching the whole suite.
Yeah.
And then 10 came out, and I looked at it, and I'm like, why would you go back to storyboard editing? I'm a timeline guy.
Yeah.
Timeline. Now it's back to
Now it's all
timeline.
timeline, yeah.
I know. But when they made that jump, I'm like, nope, this is iMovie. I'm not interested.
Exactly.
I literally lost complete interest.
Yep.
And then, and I'm a purist.
Hard to get back into it, too.
And I'm a purist. When they started making the Intel chips,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yep.
It got a little bit better, but it wasn't great.
Well, now the M1, M2, I mean,
They're going away. They're back off of Intel. Now they're back onto
Right.
the
They're
power.
doing their own
It's
chips.
like having a Power Mac again.
Yep.
And man, actually
Damn
Rob, one of our tech guy, he has a system, and we put it to the test.
Yeah.
In here, we were editing on Adobe.
Yeah.
Right, and it was taking to render a 3-minute video was taking like 8 hours, which is
Right.
but it was deep.
Right.
It was super
Oh,
deep.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right. He took it home, 30 minutes done.
Yep.
I'm like, how the hell did that happen? He goes, the new
M1.
chips are so good.
Yep. Or the M2 at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. But I have to.
Interestingly, in that same vein, we've also got on the list here about the iPad 6.
Yeah, that's coming
and
out,
introducing
right?
That. Now that is they're kind of in a quandary over that.
Really?
Yes, because they have an iPad, your straight out of the box basic iPad, and they have an iPad Pro.
Right.
And then they introduce the iPad Air in between. They're like, "Oh, this is going to be great."
Hey, dear.
And the problem with it is it's cannibalizing the iPad Pro sales.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so they hurt themselves. It didn't add more users.
Nope.
It took from the ones they had.
Yep.
And that is a problem. So that is why the iPad Air 6 is like, what are we going to do? Give it more features?
Right.
It'll hurt us even more.
Right.
So they're really caught between, do we give it fewer features?
I
Well,
wish.
then why buy it?
So my question is, and I'm not a big iPad. I have a couple iPads, and I use them for.
Yeah.
I use them for minimal stuff. I
Yes.
really don't use them to edit with or anything
No.
like that. No.
No.
I just never understood the iPad Air. Period.
There's enough features. Now, one of the things that they are talking about adding, which would be kind of neat, and that is that the onboard camera, there's 2 of them. So when you flip sideways to go, horizontal, okay, the side camera takes over like it does on your laptop, so that it's not shooting from this side. You're still shooting from straight over. So if you're doing a webcam, a broadcast, or something like that, it's going to look like you're still talking to the camera. You're still straight on.
Right.
Your eyes deviating a little bit up and down is one thing.
Yeah.
When you're looking over here, man, is that obvious that you're not looking over
Right.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, you are way off on that one when you go horizontal.
when
you go portrait mode, it's great.
Yeah. Well, that's.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's one of the things they're looking at.
But why?
Pairing
Why
it-
not just make the iPad Pro?
uh,
Is it all about us having a cheaper model?
It was a cheaper iPad Pro as well.
No
Well,
connections.
look at
You can't do
this.
anything other
This
than
is a MacBook Air.
right.
Okay.
But do you have connections? Can you
Yeah.
connect stuff to it?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay?
see.
This is a MacBook Air.
Okay.
Now you can't connect anything to an iPad. Anything. Does the Pro have ports?
Mine
Got a
does.
charge port.
Well, my charge port is
Well,
also a
but your
video
charge port is a
port,
data
an
port.
audio
Yes,
port.
of
Yeah,
course
it's
it
it's
is.
all it's pure data.
But it doesn't have multiples. Okay. It's
No.
just the one
No,
data
right.
port in, which
Right.
my iPad, my basic iPad, will do that.
Right.
But what I actually fell in love with was having it enabled with the new pencil, because I have a 1, okay, and I have to plug it in to charge it. Whereas the new one has a magnetic mount,
Oh yeah. You were
and it charges while you've got
Mine
it
does
sitting
too,
on
yeah.
it. It's like,
the new. I have a new.
McGurk.
I have an iPad
Yeah.
Mini that came with the pen.
oh, I love that Mini. Yeah.
It's not very big.
No, I used to have
and
a
the
Mini
pen-
that went in
yep.
my coat pocket.
Oh,
I
it wasn't
loved
that
it.
small, but mine's
Yeah,
like.
well, it was
But-
suit coat.
And
Yeah.
so that my this is my iPad, right? My iPad is now my GPS in my truck,
Right.
because the GPS that came with the
Yeah.
Uconnect and the RAM
Yep, you just
freaking
blew it
suck.
right over the top. You're good.
So I just put it's a little holder, and
Yeah.
it's got, but that's kind of all I use it for,
Yeah.
because to me it's frustrating and
See, I've got mine, and I got a screen protector that gives it a paper texture,
oh,
so that when you write on it with the pen,
do you write on the screen?
Yes.
Oh, you don't write on the table.
No.
Oh, I thought. See, no. I knew
I use it like
you draw and everything
I,
else.
I write notes.
Okay.
And then it reads it and converts it to ASCII, and it's about 98% accurate right out of the box.
Really?
And my handwriting is abominable. If you can't see that, don't worry about it.
It looks like hieroglyphics from here.
Hieroglyphs look better than this. Okay, I promise. This is more like demotic, but not demonic.
And I'm, and I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
I'm really good. The one thing about the new iPad, the mini that I have, I do like the fact that it's USB-C.
Yes.
Some
people
believe
like that,
the video quality coming out of it, because I do tether, is 100% better.
Really?
Yeah. I can go to a big screen TV and it
the
literally.
Cord, but what about the Thunderbolt port? Okay.
I don't have a Thunderbolt.
They're talking about maybe the Air might have a Thunderbolt port, which will make it better than C.
Thunderbolt can carry 4K. USB-Cs and USB Lightnings cannot.
Yes.
It's all
and
1080.
so they're talking about doing that.
That would be
amazing.
They should just put that on everything.
Yeah. So that's one of the rumored things that would make it different. Okay, and make it a serious upgrade from a standard iPad.
Okay.
So so that's where that one's at.
Well, I mean, okay. But my brain could never wrap around the Air.
Yeah.
One little bitty port, and that's it, man. That's all you get, and then extra charge, and I know.
There's another topic here I want to make sure we get on.
Okay,
because it is the stacked monitors.
Oh, dude,
that is a real cool piece.
I've never seen this. I don't know why I've not seen. Do you really?
I sent a picture into the chat of my setup.
Hopefully, Cage will show a picture of the guy with his stacked.
There's the guy with his stacked monitor. Now look, virtually everybody else you see has got two or more monitors side by sides.
Yeah.
Okay. I stacked mine like that. In my old office. When I moved into my new office, I said, everybody does these side by sides. So I put my two monitors side by side. Maybe 2 business days, and I was done. That was not going to happen because 2 monitors are the worst. 3 monitors, maybe, but 2 monitors means that you are going to sit and twist.
All day long.
Or
when
you're going to sit and twist.
Yeah.
Or you're going to turn your head, but your body's still going to be this way. And if you're working for many hours,
but those are
killing your neck.
Those are tiny little monitors, though.
Well,
I can't
they may
see.
be. Mine aren't.
Oh, really? What size?
I have got my iMac, and then I've got a 37-inch monitor over the top of it.
Really?
So I'm up and down between the two. And so that's what I do. Now, what that does is, first of all, you're not locked here, which is bad.
Yeah, you're up and down.
You're doing up and down through the whole thing, which is really good for your neck. And in fact, up is your best because that's when you're actually being straightest.
Right.
Okay? And it has seriously improved my posture. I was getting headaches. It's 2 days on that damn thing. And I was getting wicked headaches, neck aches, back aches, everything. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
I've got say I got my laptop here.
Yep.
And then I go with my monitor up here.
Up over the top of it like that.
Oh, dude, that would be such better.
Yes.
That'd be way better for editing.
And then you just set your up and down. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm up and down. I'm playing the video up here on the big screen while I'm editing down here.
Yeah.
And
since your laptops go back a little bit more,
you go anywhere
you're
you
not
want.
super high. That's
same thing.
I think I'm gonna. I have a 32 Samsung that raises up.
Yes.
I'm gonna put that right up and
put
go
it over the top, and then you just reset your screen settings. Okay, so that it's over and under. And I tell you what, that makes I can sit and work straight for
I wonder how
hours.
Gamers would like that. Because they're used to doing this.
Well, they are, but that's because they're doing wide terrain. Okay? That's their thing. They generally have wider terrain.
Could you imagine have a wide terrain up here?
Yes.
And then your control train down here, or your control, like your secondary monitor underneath. Because then you're like this, and then go, oh, dude.
Left, right.
You just changed my world.
You got to have 3 at the top. You have to have a central monitor that'll hold your attention when you're going up, when you're doing anything. 2 monitors are hell.
Right.
Because you're A or B. You're never actually... Sitting square is one of the most important things you can do at work.
I used to have a ball.
Yep.
I used to have a big rubber ball.
I used to have one of those chairs like Spock had in Star Trek 2.
Oh, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Yep.
the kneeling chairs.
Yes.
I love that damn thing. I went through 2 of those, and I absolutely love them. Now you can't find them anywhere, really.
Really?
Yeah, they're hard to find. But I love those things. Now I have a chair that I spent a lot of money on.
Right.
And I just, weird thing, okay, little user tip here.
Mhm.
I made sure mine had mesh in the back
Oh, to breathe.
to breathe.
Yeah,
I
I
had
hate when
leather, I had vinyl. I would get up, my back would
sweaty
stink.
and gooey.
I could smell myself by lunch every day.
Yeah,
I'm like,
especially if you're editing
And
a
then
lot.
I went ahead, I made sure I got a mesh back for the whole thing. What a difference. It is so comfortable.
Is
and
it?
mine's
Okay.
got full lumbar support and everything.
Yeah, I gotta have
and
all
it's
that.
just awesome, but you got to get the mesh back.
The mesh back.
Just like over and under monitors. Huge difference.
So we can't do it here because we're both monitors are both 42s.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard to do 2 big monitors like that.
Right. No,
Right.
it really is made for the 20 to 30 range.
Right.
Okay.
But
and
at home,
that's-
editing on this, have a secondary monitor.
secondary monitor
Bro,
right
that
above
just,
it.
That just, yeah.
It is so much better. And the thing, okay. Yeah, you'll plug in and connect. I connect via HDMI between mine.
Yeah, HDMI out
But,
of this, HDMI in.
but what's nice is now with screen share on all my Apple products, I can just go between them all. And they all just merge.
Holy cow,
basically.
we're only
I
43
know.
seconds left.
Yep.
Today's been a really good
Good
show.
show.
We had some good content too. I miss being
Hit
on.
the like, okay, follow us, share us, do all
Right.
the good things, please.
Yeah, please,
okay, because
absolutely.
we need these are the stories that if you find it interesting,
Yep.
so will 10,000 other people.
Yeah, share the show.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
And we want people. And I know we've been sporadic, and I apologize. It's just been some things going on in the studio that we think we've got everything kind of under control.
Lives. Okay, that's
Yeah.
been a little tough.
Yeah. So if you want us to do something, if you want us to cover something, let us know. I mean, just text us or actually, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see everybody next week on
everybody.
Tech Shamans. Bye bye.